Hey YouTube, Beardmaster180 here with my DVD new releases review for the week of March 1st, 2011. As a side note, 127 Hours also comes out this week, but I've already reviewed it, link in the description below. So let's start with Megamind, which was actually released last Friday. Now, Megamind has a decent and original twist to the superhero movie. Basically, the plot involves supervillain Megamind, played by Will Ferrell, and he's finally done what has taken him years to accomplish. He's defeated his arch-nemesis Metro Man, but accomplishing such a task comes with a price. He defeated Metro Man, the only superhero. Now what? Personally, I find this to be a very interesting twist. What happens when the hero loses the villain? More does happen, but that's the basis of the plot. Now, the voice acting is done extremely well. Will Ferrell is not one of my favorite actors, but in this he alters his voice perfectly to fit the character. Point goes to Ferrell. Tina Fey also does a great job enveloping herself in her character, which is great. I want to believe the emotion and charisma coming from the character. I don't want to be able to picture the actor in a recording studio, and the entire cast does a phenomenal job making their characters believable. Also, the action is quite thrilling. The amazing visuals are great on their own, but the score by Lorne Balfe and Hans Zimmer just bump it up to the next level. Zimmer, you are the man! Actually, it's not just the action. That actually goes for the whole movie. The visuals and character designs are awesome, but the score just elevates it. Plus, while on the topic of music, the classic rock songs that are scattered throughout are a very pleasant addition to everything. So kudos to he and or she involved in the song selection process. You have done well. However, there are still some flaws. Now, as I have stated earlier, the main idea is an interesting and original twist to the superhero genre. However, aside from that, the movie is still pretty cliched. Also, the movie could have thrown in a bit more jokes. The jokes that are there are extremely hilarious, but there's just not a lot of them. But as a whole, the movie is still a lot of fun and very enjoyable. I give Megamind a 9 out of 10. A very enjoyable family/superhero movie. Next up this week is Faster. Faster stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Driver, a guy who was just released from prison and has one thing on his mind: killing the men responsible for setting him up and killing his brother. But the cops are on his tail, as well as a hired hitman who always gets his man. Now, when Faster was first announced, I was pleased. Dwayne Johnson coming back to action movies where he belongs. No more of this kids movie crap. Unfortunately, Faster is extremely underwhelming. Now, personally, I'm a fan of revenge movies. I love watching the hero work his way up to the top, scratching names off his shit list. But the problem with this movie is that it's way too simple. The script is just the definition of lazy writing. I mean, the main characters are just called Driver, Cop, and Killer. I'm not kidding, those are the names. Plus, usually in a revenge movie, each person on the hero's shit list gets killed differently. It keeps things more creative and less tedious. But here it's just hero walks in, sees target, draws gun, fires, and leaves. That's it. Also, there are these little shootout scenes that are just kind of squeezed in there to add excitement or thrill for the audience, but come out as dull and uninteresting. There's also a car chase scene also squished in there, but again, very dull. Basically, it was just two cars driving very fast down a highway. If I wanted to see that, I'd watch The Fast and the Furious. Also, for an R-rated movie, it was pretty tame, minus one particular scene. As for the acting, it's the best part of the movie, but that's not saying much. Overall, Faster is a bad attempt at making a revenge movie. I give Faster a 1 out of 10. The only thing saving this from a complete fail was it's great to know that The Rock is back to action and hopefully staying as far away from shit like the Tooth Fairy. Finally this week we have Love and Other Drugs. Love and Other Drugs follows Jake Gyllenhaal as Jamie, a smooth-talking ladies' man who lands a job in the world of pharmaceutical sales. While pitching a drug to a client, he meets Maggie, played by Anne Hathaway. Maggie is like Jamie's female counterpart. They both enjoy having empty sex with strangers and avoid being tied down to anyone. However, their relationship evolves and it takes them by surprise, and they finally find themselves in love. Now I'm going to be honest, this is one of the best romantic comedies I have ever seen. Mostly due to the acting. Anne Hathaway is one of my favorite actresses because not only is she extremely gorgeous, but she also gives very entertaining performances, and here is no exception. And Gyllenhaal is usually good depending on the role that he takes, and here he just shines. Both Hathaway and Gyllenhaal give hilarious performances during the comedy scenes and powerful performances during the dramatic scenes. Speaking of which, that's another thing that I enjoyed about this movie. There is a nice balance between comedy and drama. And what helps that is that the comedy is actually funny and the drama is really effective. Now, what I didn't like about the movie. The big one to me is the change during the third act of the movie. The movie starts out as this raunchy R-rated comedy mixed up with some drama. And I was going, I can't possibly see how this is going to wind up cliched. But the start of the last third changed that, and I was like, oh, great, now it's going to be cliched. Also, the movie runs a little too long. One character thread could have just been written out completely. But overall, Love and Other Drugs is a great romantic comedy. I give it an 8 out of 10. So that's my review of Megamind, Faster, and Love and Other Drugs. And we end another DVD new releases review. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more. This is Beardmaster180 reminding you that this has been my own personal opinion. You are in control of yours. Thanks for watching.